the sun on Spurs have taken the lead!
Gundogan, what are you pointing to? It's your man, mate. Why is Gundogan pointing? Who are you pointing to, Ilkay?
No, it can't be, man. It can't be, man. Well, look at Son's contract. We can't concede. Surely that's what I'm saying.
It'll be 1-0. It's 1-0 Spurs. And honestly, lads.
Bro, they are cooking them. Sit down, watch the game. Sit down and watch it. Forget that. Watch this game today.
Me, man.
It's 2-0.
Levski across into Solanke, across. Oh my God, Pedro Porro makes it 3.
It's over. It's over.
Trey. 3-0, blood.
Absolutely catastrophic football Manchester City have played.
Transfer! Transfer window! Oh my God!
Game over, City. You shambles. Phil Foden again at the other end of the pitch.
There's it across, and there's 3 for Tottenham.
Goodbye, Timo Werner. Oh my God!
Why does Walker do that now? I swear to God, why does he do that?
It's over. It's over.
Oh my God. Trey, 4-0. Brendan Johnson, bro. 92nd minute.
The league is over. We are done. We're a top 4 race, and we should focus on UCL and FA Cup.
I don't know what to say. I don't know. One thing I am, I'm a man of my words. I'm a man of my words. I will call out. Oh my God. They lost another. They didn't concede this 4. Oh my God! Oh no! Oh my God, man! Oh no! Oh my God!
Solanke, please. Please, borrow. Yeah! I love seeing Exis happy. Out of all the content creators we feature, he's the one I want it for the most, if I'm being honest with you. By the way, smash the like button if you haven't done so already, and make sure you subscribe to every single creator you see in this. The fan channel community has got to stick together and stop the bullshit in fighting. Let's get back to it and have some fun. Is he saying Euphoria? I think he's saying Euphoria. I don't know. It's so high pitched. Euphoria! What a goal! Pedro Porro, man! 3-0! 3-0! Oh my days, blood! Oh my days! The football, blood! We are oozing soul! Champagne, blood! What's man talking about? Oh, I pulled my hamstring. I need you to tell me in the comment section, when your team has scored a goal, what's the worst injury you've had during the celebrations? I'd done the ligaments in my ankle, FA Cup final 2016 at Wembley. We'd celebrate and everyone's getting mad when Lingard's goal and someone trod on my ankle. And it was so close to breaking. So close. What's yours? Let us now know in the comment section below. Staying with X, I got sent this video today. I've only seen the first 10 seconds. I think it's going to be magic. Let's go.
Is dead. And we're loving big engines there. We've been through it. Oh, years of force of football. Mourinho, Conte, Nuno.
Is that the actual song, or has X made that up? Spurs fans, let me know.
Never right, they were wrong, but now we're kangaroos and sauce. We're big hands past the car glue. Rock and roll football after. when it comes to goal. How will they stop us? I'm loving big engines.
That's why he's the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribing. Make sure you got the bell notifications turned on as well. I also got a stat someone sent me. Oh, I've got to compose myself. And breathe. It's about Erling Haaland. You all know I rate him. You all know I think he's great. But you're speaking of staying humble. Do you know since he said to Arteta, stay humble, this has been the man's output. He's only scored 2 goals from 8.03 XG in the Premier League since telling Mikel Arteta to stay humble. 2 things. First of all, most importantly, I'm telling you this now, as sure as eggs are eggs, the football gods are real. The football gods exist. I'm sure of it. A little department somewhere in heaven. I don't quite know how it works. But I feel like there's a little department that is dedicated to football. Maybe sport at large, but certainly football. Secondly, does that mean Mikel Arteta broke Haaland? Oh, Terry sucking off Arsenal again. No, it's called a joke, you melts. Let's take a look at this City fan who was at the game yesterday. Let's take a little listen.
Full-time City lose 4-0 at home to Tottenham. But listen to all these fans around us. I mean, it's not a good game. It's a horror show again. Five losses now in a row. But all the City fans still here. Shout out to all of them. That out there today was not good enough. We've been absolutely humiliated at home. It's the worst loss, in my opinion, under Pep, that 4-0. We are absolutely cooked. At the end of the day, the players out there didn't do enough today. Pep didn't do enough with the changes. Are a little bit late for me, but we didn't deserve to lose 4-0. We have lost 4-0. That, for me, is the most embarrassing loss under Pep. 4-0 and 5 losses now in a row.
This is what happens, though, when a manager... I'm being honest, this is not a dig at City. This is just a reality. When a manager spends the best part of a decade, say then he goes on to have 2 decades at a club, 2.5, 3 decades at a club, as we have seen, and not all that length, Sir Alex, Arsene Wenger, Clough, and loads of great managers throughout the course of history. You'll probably name loads more in the comment section. When you stay there long enough, depends on when you arrived, okay? Because if Pep would have arrived at Manchester City in the summer of 2009 when the takeover happened, there would have been some results like this whilst they were building that first brilliant squad. Then you go through transitional periods where, and I've heard a few City fans say this and they're spot on, this isn't just because Rodri's out. This is because some players I think are a bit bloated, a bit full with the success and maybe need to move on. Others have aged out. Some of the signings ain't been good enough. Pep, at the moment, hasn't found a solution to some of these issues. And it's all kind of happened at the same time. And you have these results. That's why some of these City fans won't be used to it under Pep. But it's normal for exceedingly long-term managerial appointments to go through these rocky periods. It's happened to all the great managers that have been at clubs for very long periods of time before. And it will happen for another 140 years. It's normal. Doesn't mean it shouldn't be criticised or scrutinised and you shouldn't put forward what you want to change, but it isn't abnormal. It isn't weird what's going on. It maybe just feels a little bit weird because it's a team we're not used to seeing having that happen too. Let's take a look at what Mark Goldbridge had to say after the game yesterday.
I tell you what, this could be 4-0. They've got numbers. Werner, look at this from Werner. Cross it to the back post. Oh, it is. It's magnet. Oh, what a night for Spurs.
Look at the smirk. Look at the smirk. Look at the smirk.
4 absolutely battered them. Well, I'll tell you what, they'll be releasing a DVD of this. I don't think it will get better than this for Spurs. They probably won't win a cup, but they have won the go to Man City and batter them. 4-0. Battered. Someone get the fish.
They did batter them. A little brutal there, a little bit of fun there from Goldbridge, but they did batter them. And I will say this again, this is more the Spurs fans. You deserved it. You were brilliant in the attack. You were brilliant defensively. And don't let anybody tell you can't celebrate and have a bit of banter. You'll get some City fans and some rival fans that will say, but what have you won lately? Well done, great trophy, etc. Ignore it. Enjoy it. You've got the bragging rights for a few days. Celebrate. I hope if you have a drink, you had a few good ones last night. If you just like to eat good food, you had some good food. Do you know what I mean? I said it at the start of the match reaction yesterday. You know, there's going to be a few pregnancies in the Spurs world after last night. And you got to enjoy these moments. It's a big part of what football is all about. Now, here's Gary Neville talking after the game. I want to get your views and opinions on this. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet. I've seen some snippets. Take a little listen. Make sure you've hit the like button if you haven't done so yet. And subscribe to Expressions. Subscribe to LB. That's Football we've featured on here. The MCFC lads that have just featured a minute ago. Go and subscribe to all these fan channels and support the industry, please, people. Let's take a listen to Gary Neville here.
It feels very different, this feels like, I used to say, when you're winning something, something's happening, but when you're sort of on the decline, I hate to use the word decline, but it does feel a little bit like a group of players who, a number of things, 2 or 3 things that I'm thinking, the idea of growing slightly old together, the idea of playing the volume of games together and the physical and mental sort of demands of that. And then the third thing is, how many times can you keep going? You know, I played for a manager and a club that kept going, but there were times whereby you just fall over in a certain season. You've won the league 3 times on the bounce, you've won it twice, you've won doubles, you've won trebles, and you just can't go any further, and you just need that little bit of a, your shoulders just drop a little bit, and it feels like that's that third thing that's happening here. So you look at those 3 things, and that's what it feels like right now at this moment in time. A group of players who really have run a million miles. They've been sensational, but they've just sort of, if you like, become a little bit sort of, if you like, punch drunk, a little bit sort of like that. And that's how it feels, leggy, lacking in energy. Obviously, they've lost players as well, and, you know, a couple of players missing through it.
I think Gary Neville is very accurate in that. What's really interesting is I think it's more of there's a psychological element here that's hard to articulate unless you are an expert in that area. But there is almost like a tap out. And a mate of mine I was with last night gave me a great example. He used to work in the banking industry like me, and he said that when he became quite successful, when he was on his way up, he would fight for every deal, every bit of lending, every investment, everything. And it wouldn't matter if he was 2 minutes away from going home or about to go on holiday. If a lead came in, he'd be on it. He said, but a few years down the line, when he got promoted a few more times, his bonuses were great, he was killing it, it'd be 4:30 on a Friday, and he's going away for a bit of a nice weekend with the missus, and an opportunity would come in. And he'd look at it and go, okay, it's lending, £200 commission on this. I'll give it to a junior. He'd hand that opportunity up to a junior because he viewed it as, I've got all this other stuff going on, I've got all this success, it ain't going to make a great deal of difference. And it's not until he's got older and he's looked back at that, it's because he was a bit bloated on the success that he had. And I do think there's a psychological element in sport that is very, very similar as well, where you've won so much, sometimes it is hard to keep going when the going gets tough.
That are vital players. And I think I sit here tonight with a long way to go thinking, this feels different. This feels like if you're Arsenal, if you're Liverpool, who I think are the 2 genuine teams that can win the title other than Manchester City, you must not get carried away, but you must feel, hang on a minute, there's no excuses here now. You know, differently, I think I'm looking more at Arsenal with that statement really than Liverpool, because I think anybody at the start of the season that would have said Arne Slot would have come in and done what he's done would have said, no, I'm not quite sure that's going to happen. This was Arsenal's season if it wasn't going to be City's. So I think the pressure's really on Arsenal now to step up and go for it. They had a good start today with the 3-0. But for Liverpool, sat there at the top of the league with that.
Listen, if this was the beginning of the season, I think everybody had it City, Arsenal, Liverpool in terms of their favourites. I think most people had that. Say City started their first 5 games of the season like this, and Arsenal, I don't know, won 3, drew 1, lost 1, and were top of the league. I think everything Gary Neville said then is correct. You'd say this is Arsenal's year, because City do not look themselves. Genuinely don't look themselves, 5 defeats on the bounce, etc. But Gary Neville is one of many pundits who and by the way, I agreed with large elements of this at the time. When Arsenal got into a title race 2 seasons ago, last season when they were in a title race, they all pushed this narrative that within a season, expectations change. So yes, nobody maybe expected Liverpool to be this good straight away on the slot. I said they were title challenged, by the way, so I'm keeping it 100. But we've seen how good they are. We've seen how good he is. Actually, the Liverpool squad is much better than we all gave it. Maybe even me, who thought the challenge, it's better than we all gave it credit for. That new lease of life that the new head coach slot has given them. And City have been poor this season, but some of Arsenal. So based on where we sit today when Gary Neville's saying this, I find it a little bit of a dig. I find it a little bit underhand that there's more pressure on Arsenal today to go and win the league than there is Liverpool that have the opportunity to go 5 points clear. Arsenal are still a point behind Manchester City. They're still a point behind them. Now, listen, it's been a very disappointing start to Arsenal's campaign. They've been heavily criticised by their own fans, the media, and rivals. That's been done. Let's not sit here and lie, especially in the comment sections for all you Arsenal haters. Let's not lie that we haven't been heavily critical, that I haven't said I think they've got to go and win their next 8 to 9 games out of 10 in the Prem to try and win this league. But at the same time, we're dropping this narrative that everybody pushed. For 2 years, it was put 3 years actually, because it goes back to Man United 3 years ago. The narrative was expectations changed throughout the course of the season. Man United and Ten Hag weren't expected to make top 4 or win a trophy year 1. When we did, we were told that it wasn't an overachievement because throughout the course of the season, the expectations changed. And that was universally agreed upon. Arsenal not winning the league 2 years running, especially the first year they challenged with Arteta because they had a 5-point lead. Although they weren't even expected to make the top 4, it was an underachievement because the expectations changed. Why, I add, are we changing the narrative now? And before any of you again say it, Terry's defending Arsenal. It's not about Arsenal. I've mentioned Man United as well. Why is the logic different this time round? I'm saying you're wrong, in my opinion. So what I'm asking for is a non-snotty, non-aggressive, non-passive-aggressive response. Not a question with a question. Tell me why you think it's different. Change my mind. Why this time round are we not moving the expectations based on what we have seen in the season, as we have done publicly in the social media discourse for the past 2 to 3 years? Let me know in the comments section now, because I tell you now again, it sounds like a little bit of Arsenal hate to me, but there we go. Listen, congratulations, Tottenham. What a start to the Premier League we have had after the international break. Take care, goodbye, God bless, and we'll see you all again soon. Peace!